be like to be in a fiery furnace? Who knows, boys and girls? That's what today's lesson is about from Daniel chapter 3. If you have your Bible, grab it because this furnace is getting warm, and we're going to tell you a story from Daniel chapter 3 today in our lesson. And so we want you to be informed. There are print-offs that your parents have from the emails, and they can print those off and you can do those later. But right now, let's go on. Here's our memory verse for today, Isaiah 41, verse number 10. Fear not, do not be dismayed, for I am with you, for I am your God, I will strengthen you. Huh, kids? Take a look here. We got some flames here and some flames here. And I think I count 1, 2, 3 guys. I'm not sure who that is, but we'll have to tell you about that later. Boys and girls, have some friends that are going to help us in telling our story today. And you know Digger. Hey, kids! And you know Bobo.
Hi!
And you've met Anna before, too.
Hello.
And today, we have a new friend we're going to introduce to you, and his name is Rennie. Hey, boys and girls! And so, these guys are going to help me out with my story today. Oh, Dave. Oh, Dave. Yes, there, Digger. I want a very important part in the story. A very important part, huh? Yeah, I want an important part too.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you know, there are only so many parts I can hand out for the story today from Daniel chapter 3, but I would say probably the most prominent person in the story, the most powerful person in the story is on an earthly standpoint, is probably the king. Oh, pick me, please, pick me. I want to be the king. You want to be the king? All right, but if you're the king, then I need 3 really good friends. We're really good friends. Yeah, really good friends. Well, okay. We got a king, we got 3 friends. What story do you think we're telling? The 3 little pigs! Yeah, definitely the 3 little pigs!
No. It's the 3 little bears.
No, it's not the 3 bears. It's not the 3 pigs.
Huh?
No. Is it Little Red Riding Hood? Is there a king in Little Red Riding Hood? Good point. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, no, today's story comes from the Bible. It comes from Daniel chapter 3. It's the story of Shadrach, that's who'll be you, Rennie. Oh, yeah. And Meshach, Anna, you get to be Meshach.
Cool.
And Abednego, that's you, Bobo.
Yay!
Wait. Does that mean I'm King Nebuchadnezzar? Yep, you're King Nebuchadnezzar. No! I don't want to be Nebuchadnezzar. I heard that he makes really good chocolate bunnies. No, that's from VeggieTales. That's not in the Bible. All right, I think now we got all the parts handed out. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get everybody dressed, okay? Here we go.
Let's go costumes?
Yep, costumes and all. That'll be fun. All right, let's go get our costumes on. Anna, you're going to give us a snap. In 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Everybody has their costumes on, right?
Yeah.
You guys look pretty good. Oh, yeah, I'm the king. Yes, you did. You chose to be the king, Digger. That is exactly right. Yeah. So tell us the story, Dave. Tell us the story. Okay. All right. It's from Daniel chapter 3. And there are 3 characters that are in this story. Well, there's 4 of us. Yeah, there are 4 of us, but there are 3 characters that are very important. The king is one of them. Well, he is important to the story, but he's not the most important in the story. In fact, even the 3 aren't the most important. But we have 3. One is Shadrach. That's me.
Meshach, that's me. And Abednego, that's me.
All right, and they were servants of the king. Yes, servants of the king. Wait for your line, Digger. I'll tell you when to speak. Oh, sorry. And the king had a statue. He had a giant band. And when the music played, everyone was supposed to bow down to the statue. Play the music!
But
something wrong? Well, there is something wrong. But is it my line yet? Nope, it's not your line yet. There was something wrong. You see, the king had given the decree that they all had to bow down to the statue, but there were 3 who were not bowing. That's right, Dave. We can't bow to the statue.
No, we can't.
We are supposed to serve the one true God, and that's who we have to serve, right?
Yeah.
So when everybody else bows, we're going to stand and be courageous and do what is right.
Yeah.
But the king had plans about that. He said, when the music plays again, you must bow to the statue, and if you don't, it will be into the fiery furnace. All right, so this time, boys and girls, guess what? The music played, and I think this time they should bow down. Don't you think they should bow down? God, stop the music! Something wrong? They are not bowing! So the Shadrach,
Meshach,
and Abednego, they were brought before the king. And the king said, do you not understand? Your God can't deliver you from me. And you must bow. I'm going to give you one more try. And we're going to play the music. And you must bow to my statue. And if you don't, it's the fiery furnace for you. So they played the music one more time. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't bow. Cut! In fact, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came to the king, and the king said, what God is able to deliver you from my hands? And they answered the king, oh, King Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter.
If we have to answer you, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us from your hand, O king.
but if not, let it be known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods, nor will we worship the golden image that you have set up.
And the king had had enough. And he said in his rage, off with their heads! No. And he said in his rage, take them away and put them in jail. No. He said, into the fiery furnace. Oh yeah, that's right, fiery furnace. Yeah, let's take them to the fiery furnace. And that's exactly what happened. And so the king threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace. And while they were in the fiery furnace, the king said, he looked down in the fiery furnace and he said from the outside, hey, didn't we put 3 men in the furnace? And you know what? There was 3 men. And they said there are 3 men in the furnace. You only put 3 men in. It was Shadrach,
Meshach, and Abednego.
But then the king said, wait a minute. I don't just count 3, I count 4 down there in the furnace. And the 4th one, it looks like the Son of God. And with that, the king gave the order to bring Shadrach, Meshach,
Hi.
And Abednego!
out of the fiery furnace. That's right, boys and girls. God had delivered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the fiery furnace. In fact, the fiery furnace had been heated up even hotter than it usually was, 7 times hotter. In fact, the Bible even says that the guard who threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace, he died. Dave, Yeah, Digger? I don't want to be the mean king anymore. Well, I think we've finished our story, so maybe we should talk about our application in our normal outfits. What do you say?
Let's go.
All right, Anna, snap us out of here in 3, 2, 1. All right, boys and girls, we're back, and we're going to talk about a little bit of application.
What's application, Dave?
Well, it's when you take the truths of the Bible and you apply them to your life.
Ah.
Yep. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. I know one thing I'm going to apply. What's that, Digger? I'm never going to be a wicked king ever again. That's a good one.
Well, it was pretty hot in the furnace. I don't know if you want to be Shadrach, Meshach, or Abednego.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Boys and girls, you can always do what's right. It's always right to do right. And sometimes that takes courage. Like sometimes you have to stand alone. You ever had to do that, Bobo? The only one who wants to do right?
When that whole crowd was bowing down, but we were the only ones who stood?
Yeah. And sometimes you have to do what's right, and God will give us the courage to do what's right. And so, boys and girls, the application is to learn a lesson from Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And to understand there is one God to serve, and that is the God of heaven. And he was able to deliver Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the fiery furnace, and he's able to help you as well. And so, we'll say goodbye to our friends now. Yeah, one more time that we have to say goodbye, but that's okay. We'll come back again, kids, and we'll have a great time together.
Yeah.
That's right. Thanks for being with us today, kids.
Yeah, thanks, kids.
Thank you.
We'll see you later. So let's go over to the board here and let's review, if we can, our memory verse just one more time here. So kids, here's the verse here today. We want you to get this one down really good by way of memory. Isaiah 41, verse number 10. Fear not, be not dismayed, for I am with you, for I am your God, I will strengthen you. Notice our 4 guys in the furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and the Son of God. Fear not, be not dismayed, for I am with you, for I am your God, I will strengthen you. Isaiah chapter 41, verse number 10. When you think about this next week, we got a couple worksheets that you can take with you. This came in the mail for your parents that they can print off, and you can do these worksheets this next week. First one, you got to cut off the squares on the bottom and match them with the saying there on the worksheet. A little bit of cut, paste there for you this week. The next one has some case studies on it. So you have to think about obeying God and doing what's right. And so that would be a good one for you guys to work on. You get to draw your own picture in there. Fill in the blanks about doing what's right. Well, it's been a great joy to be able to be with you this week. I hope you have a great week as you continue to serve Jesus Christ. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. We'll let you know on some of the details of weeks to come. But for right now, always obey God and do what's right and have courage to do what's right. God bless you. Have a good day.